Hi there, it's Amelia. I am going to dive in to gardening books. So we have so many gardening books and farming books and saving seeds and houseplants and pesticides and herbicides and all that kind of crazy stuff. So I'm going to show you the highlights of our very special gardening section at Cromaine. All right, so our first batch of books here is basic gardening books. So here is how to plant a garden. Pretty hefty looking butte there. Grow what you love. So part of gardening is making sure that you like the plants that you're growing because it motivates you and keeps you interested in what you're doing. So don't grow broccoli if you don't like broccoli. Just don't do it. Gardening for a lifetime. How to garden wiser as you grow older. I feel like each year that we do gardening at home, I get a little bit smarter, maybe. Put in drip line last year, that was really helpful. Here's the anxious gardeners, guide to questions and everything you need to know. So it's oh, why is my plant turning brown? Why is the fruit rotting on the end? Why won't any of the fruit fertilize, or any of the flowers fertilize? So lots of questions when you're a gardener because you can't talk to the plants. I mean, you can talk to the plants, but they're not gonna talk back to you and tell you what their problems are. Anywho, good one. All right, so the next run of books here are about specific facets to the world of gardening. So we have attracting native pollinators. So pollinators are really important when you're growing a garden because they help the fruit, get made by fertilizing the flowers. So in your region, you're going to have specific pollinators that you want to appease. So for instance, if you wanted to bring in a monarch butterfly, you would, plant bee balm or milkweed or any number of those plants. So this will tell you exactly what you need to know on that end. Next we have gardening with heirloom seeds. So heirloom seeds are seeds that have been kept, by families or organizations over generations, hundreds of years, or maybe just you're doing it yourself, saving the seeds. So heirloom seeds have their origin in kind of the organic gardening realm, as far, not organic gardening, but the natural gardening realm. Anywho, here's how to grow perennial vegetables. So this is your asparagus, which takes 3 years to pop out of the ground once you plant it. My gosh. Well, I mean, not to pop out, but 3 years for you to actually get asparagus to eat. Vegetables, companion planting for beauty and bounty. So turns out a lot of our little vegetable friends have flowers that they prefer to be near or that their pollinators prefer. So if you're trying to bring some pollinators to a certain area, or some flowers might pick up certain vitamins or minerals from the soil or help bring up the water from down below. So there's just a ton of different really interesting ways that plants talk to each other and work together to grow your flowers and your vegetables. So more listening to plants, I guess. Here is fairy gardening. So fairy gardening, if you don't know, is it's creating a small little garden that would be inhabited by fairies. We are fans of fairy gardens at our house. We have a couple kicking around, so it's kind of reusing different items or found items to create a little garden for your little fairies. Or you can buy brand new stuff, that works too. I don't know if any of you have any deer in your yard. I do. and they eat everything, don't they? So this might be a good one to check out, solving deer problems. And then we have crops in tight spots. So if you live in a condo or apartment or in the city with a small yard, this is going to be really great for you. Yeah, growing strawberries vertically is really interesting. We started doing that last year with a tower, and so they kind of like come out the sides of it. Super cool. I am looking forward to planting lots of strawberries this year. All right, let's continue. We have a book called The Market Gardener. So many times the amount of vegetables that you plant in your garden is way too much for you, and you might be interested in starting your own like small business about it and selling vegetables at the farmer's market or whatever. So that's a really great handbook for doing that. Saving seeds. So turns out you don't have to buy seeds every year. What? You can save them. You can save a lot of seeds. I mean, there's some rules, obviously, so that's why there's this whole book about it. Check it out. Some seeds you have to like get them, like send them through cold temperatures so that they will mature. Lots of little weird things about seeds. The Plant Propagator's Bible. The Plant Propagator's Bible. So plant propagating is just like making new plants from the plants you already have. And this says Guide to Propagating Every Plant in Your Garden. So when you have a plant, it'll teach you how to like pull a piece off or somehow separate part of a plant to create a new plant. And then the last bit here, we have some like special interests, like growing special items. So straw bale gardens, or like certain techniques. So like straw bale gardens, this kind of teaches you how to use straw bales to create a garden by building it, or like last year I used straw to mulch my garden so that a ton of weeds don't come up. We have herb gardening, so very specific practices on bringing up herbs. Homegrown berries, yes, please. Strawberries, blackberries, blueberries, huckleberries, give me all the berries. Grow your own tea. Sounds like we're having a tea presentation coming up soon, so this might be a good one to get into. Grow your own tea. Happy cactus. So if you have any house plants or you vacation in a desert climate, you might have some of these. So this is like how to take care of them. I know that succulents can be pretty tricky sometimes because you give them water and then they don't want it and then they get all rotty and then it's just a whole thing. So read the book, it'll help you. And then microgreens. So it's not really any different than most of the stuff you're planting. It's just like the baby form of it. So you learn which seeds to use, how to grow them, and then when to like eat them. So that's it. Those are my recommendations for gardening books. We have 3 times more on the shelves. So definitely come on down to Cromaine before you get started growing your plants this year and get some advice and some ideas. And if you are looking for someone to talk gardening with, we have some friends here that like to garden and at the Heartland Home and Garden Club. They are amazing. They come here to Cromaine and they do volunteer work on our garden here. We have a pollinator garden, gorgeous, and we're really grateful to have them around. Anywho, good luck with your gardens this year, and we'll talk to you later.